Kevin, Jill, Catherine. Jill, you look like you're running a podcast there. You've got a good background. You've got your headphones on.
Yeah, this is my control seat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you're in control there.
Uh, um, but yeah, I'm not feeling the best, so
I
I
can
think I was a
tell
little
you're. I can
premature.
tell you're a little down. Well,
Yeah, still
Master
coughing.
Zhang, Master Zhang used to say, "Watching counts." All right, watch and pay attention. It counts.
What I've been doing for 2 years.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I just got a note from an old student who's going to join us again, and back from the days in San Francisco. And he said he just had a knee replacement. Not just, but the knee is replaced and now it's healed up, so he can move again. He said, and now I can start to twist again on that leg. So um, it's always something, guys. Okay, so yesterday we started moving into move number 9, which is called Wade Forward. Let's review that, and we'll review it in great detail after our initial movements here. But let's do it a few times, and then we'll do the whole form from the beginning up through move 9. I'll do the first one. Catherine, you can do the second. Kevin and Jill, you guys can just watch. And then we'll go back into move 9 and kind of spend some real time with it, make sure everybody's got it, all right? Or at least everybody who can move has got it, all right? So the move starts where a raised knee finishes, all right? Just step up and relax. All right? Close, turn, all right? Whole body turning. 1, 2, step out, and elbows to the right, elbows to the left, and then it's kind of like a rainbow to finish. Let me adjust the camera here. So it's a little shorter than some of the moves that we've been doing. Step up, relax, spin, 1, 2, and step out. Sink on the left, go under, over, and back to center. One more. Okay. Questions? No questions. All right, from the beginning. If you were in Master Jean's class, he'd ask you questions, and then he'd go, Joe, you have question? You have question? And you would go, no. And he'd go, okay, then you lead. Catherine, you have question? No question? Okay, you lead.
I would get really good at asking questions.
Yes, everybody did. Okay, Catherine.
Um, okay, but I really don't master the one that we studied yesterday.
It's all right. Do as well as you can.
I mean, not master. I mean, I just don't have it. Master is not like the long way ahead.
Good try, though. Good try. I actually like it when someone is working on a new move and they don't know it because you get to see their brain working. All right? And we all have these challenges when we do new moves like this. One of the things you can start to learn in this first form, and you're not going to learn it in one moment, but over the course of learning the form, learn some of the basic ideas that are built into Tai Chi movement. So let's say my hand is like this. Where's it going to go next? Well, it's going to go on the other side, isn't it? Yeah, of course. If my weight is on the left foot, where's my weight going to go? It's going to go on to the right. So little clues like that can kind of help you when you get to a place and you're not sure what to do. Check where your weight is. Well, my weight's on the right. That means it's going to go to the left. Your weight distribution is your biggest clue as to what comes next. So check out the weight. It also has to do, guys, with your muscle memory. Your muscle memory depends on certain things. And the biggest thing it depends on is where is your weight? Where's your center of gravity, so to speak? If you're just standing there 50-50, you're not giving your body any clues. All right? But if you move forward, so I'm on my left foot, now I'm on right foot, I'm on my right foot. Okay, I'm on my right foot. That will clue your muscle memory better than if you're just you don't know where you are, you're in between. So when you're learning a new move, the first thing you want to learn, and we'll work on this again, is where's your weight going to be? Because everything else depends on that. All right. Jill, how are you feeling? You look like you're falling asleep.
That is absolutely correct. Yeah, my energy just crashed.
Just nosedived, huh?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay, hon. You're obviously not feeling all that great. So let's work on this last move a little bit. And the first thing that we want to do is, where are the weights? This is actually quite a short move. So I'm going to do it at a little bit of an angle here so you can see my body better. All right. So the end of raised knee, all right, is like this. And my weight now is forward on my left. Now, what you're going to do from there is just step up. All right? Here I'm pushing. So I want my right leg back because I'm going to use that to push. All right? Now, I'm just going to step up so I can just relax. I'm just standing there. All right? Push, step up, and relax. All right? Now, all my weight is on the right. So it starts on the left, goes to the right. All right? And now, I'm going to do that little bit of a move that we have earlier in the form. All right? Boom, like this, and open. This opening is really kind of interesting because what you're doing is you're actually spinning. The full name of this move is wade forward and twist step. That's the twist step. All right? Wade forward and twist step. All my weight is on the right, all right? And then I need to hit this guy. I need to hit him. Well, I could just keep my weight back on the right and try and hit him, but it's not very powerful. What you really want is to move your whole body. All right, and then the hand just comes with it. Boom. So left, right, twist step, shift your weight right and hit. And you know that right after the hit, you're going to have to kick him in the knee. Kick him in the knee, Kevin. You know, the knee in the middle, right? Push. Left, right, twist step, hit and kick, and now step out. Let me move back here a little bit so you can see the whole thing. All right? I'll do it straightforward. All right? Push, step up left, relax to the right, twist step. All right? Throw your body, hit and kick, and step out. And then sink. Your weight's on the left. You sink on the left side. And you go under. Now your weight's on the right. Then you go over. Your weight's back on the left. And then you kind of do a rainbow. And that's the weight. And now just a little bit to the right of forward. One more. Push. Weights left, step up, and relax back, weights right. Twist step, weight still on the right. Now, throw your weight to the left and hit and kick, right? And then step out. Notice when I step out, I don't step out like this. I step out like this. There has to be some distance between your, right? So if I step forward now, that's the stance I would be in. Because otherwise, it'll be too narrow and you won't have a good base. Press forward, step, weight to the left, weight to the right. Twist step, and weight back to the left, kick and step out. Sink down on the left side, go under the belly to the right side, over just to the left of center, and then kind of a rainbow pattern back to the right of center. So when you're done, it looks like this. Down at the waist, up at the shoulder. Under, over, boom. Now watch the hands. Under, right? It's like rocking the baby. Under, over, right? Palm up, palm down, and split. Good. Weight left, right, twist step, weight left, sink left, under, weights on the right, over, weights on the left, and back to the right. Just actually almost in the center. Questions?
No. Got it.
Good, we'll see. Let me tell you how the old teachers in China would teach you this move. They would have done it with you 3 times without any verbal explanation. They would have shown it to you 3 times. And then they would have said, you practice, I'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll see how you're doing. That's it. That's all you're going to get, so you better pay attention. I'm not saying that's a good teaching method, but that's the old method. Weight to the left, to the right, twist step, weight left, step out, sink left and under the danchin to the right, over the danchin to the left, and back to center. Okay? Let me do it with my back to you. I'll do it. You tell me whether it's worth doing. Does that help, or can you even
Yeah.
see anything? Does it help? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Catherine, let me see you do it. Good. When you can make yourself laugh, you know you're doing good Tai Chi. Guys, there is a line in the Tao Te Ching that says, if it were not for laughter, the Tao would not be the Tao. Good. Catherine, stand back a little bit so I can see your feet. I want to see what your feet are doing. One more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Good. Okay, good. That's good. Practice that. Let's start the next move. We will only do part of it, right? Let me just demonstrate it. The first part of this is 2 circles, and you're doing this, essentially doing the same thing twice, or it's a variation on the same thing. Watch, right? So under, over, back to center, circle, circle. All right, we've already done that move before, right? It's a forward china followed by a reverse china. Right? So forward china, you're just using the palm forward, I got the wrist here, palm forward at the elbow. Reverse chinna, you're just using the back of the arm here. Okay, watch again. Forward chinna, circle, reverse chinna. Forward chinna, reverse chinna. So you're doing the same thing off the left hip joint twice, forward and reverse. Now the trick of this is to get the circular part of this. You don't do this with your arms. Your arms are just not strong enough to do this. You have to do it with the core of the body. So, say the danchen, you can think of the danchen as the size of a small orange here. Or you can think of it as filling your whole daimon, or your whole abdomen, right? Let's think of it that way. So this whole thing can turn. It can turn left or it can turn right. It can turn front and back. It can turn around sideways. It can do almost anything. But watch now. That means this is turned like this.
So your right quad is going down and your left quad sort of coming up.
Let me get my Tron suit on and I'll respond to your comment. So this is going to be the circle. I'm squaring the circle. You can see it's spinning and it spins again and boom. That's the actual move. Your hands are just expressing what you're doing in your core. Your hands aren't making the core do that. The core is making your hands do that. So a way to look at this is that your hands are like leaves floating in a stream. All right? It's the current in the stream that makes your hands move. All right? I'm not doing this with my hands, I'm doing it with this. The hands are just floating on top. It's not this, it's this. Catherine, does this make sense? Once you get this internalized, a move like this is very pleasant to do because you can really feel the chi moving inside the body. You just think of it as momentum moving inside the body. All right? Just watch this. One, 2, you're closing and opening and closing and opening. Close, open, close. Boom, boom, boom. That's, in some ways, that may be the most basic movement in Tai Chi, is closing the core, opening the core. Close, open, close, open, close, open. All right, let's add that to this move. It's actually the next move, but that's okay. Left, right, twist step. All right, to the left and step out. Under the Danshan, over the Danshan, back to center and close, open, close. So a lot of the, if we were doing this as a martial class, the effectiveness of the joint lock has to do with whether you can really close or not. Because what you're doing is you're closing like a big mouse trap. And if your closing isn't very good, you're not going to get the mouse. So instead, you want to be, if you were really going to do this, it would look like this, all right? Remember what we said about the, I don't know where it went. My spring, here it is. Remember what I said about how when you close, what you're doing is you're closing this spring. It's not so much that you're folding one thing on top of another, as you're kind of closing it like a big spring that you're compressing.
No.
It's exactly what you're doing here. All right? You're compressing right down the leg. Now, the hip joint, there is a degree of closing like a hinge joint. All right? But that's really very secondary to closing like a big spring. And then you just let the spring come up again. And now you close the spring again. All of that being mediated by this circular motion in the abdomen. Close, open, 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 close, open. We should add that to our exercises. All right? Very basic idea. All right, let's do, I want to show you guys a little video. So let's do the whole move that we've learned so far, the move number 9 and the beginning of move number 10. We'll do it a couple of times, and then I'm going to show you this little video. Step up left, relax to the right. Twist step. Throw your weight to the left and hit, kick, and step out. Under the Danshan, over the Danshan. Back to center and close, and open, and close. Got it? Master Zhang would say, oh, maybe you forget.
I need to work on it.
Practice. You practice. Very good. All right. What do you say is practice. Hun hao. Hun hao. Very good. Very good. Okay, I'm going to show you guys a little video. This is a video I made up that has nothing to do with what we're talking about here, but has to do with how to structure your class for yourself technically. If you are watching this class on an iPhone, what you're going to be watching is little teeny tiny people. You're not going to see most of what's going on. If you're on a laptop, which is what most people are watching on, it's better, but it can be even better than that. If you have a flat panel TV, I'm going to teach you how to wire it up to, for instance, your iPad. If you do not have a flat panel TV, they are very inexpensive.
Not here.
You can use a flat panel TV as a second monitor for your computer. It's just automatic. Most computers have a sophisticated enough graphics card now that they will support more than one monitor. If you get a bigger image, it will increase your enjoyment of the class immensely. I absolutely guarantee it. It will also help you see better what's going on. Some of you may do this, others of you may not, but I want you to see this and see how easy it is to do. So hold on. Also, I think I'm very charming in this video, so I want you to see this. I don't have little finger mobility, all right? On your little finger back here, all right? So index finger, little finger, index finger, little finger, index. About how to get the cable and the adapter and all that stuff. You can get it all for less than $100. And hook it up to your laptop or your desktop, and then you can use your flat panel TV. It's very simple. Bob's your uncle. All right. Okay, guys. We'll see you in class. Ciao. Okay, so if you're going to use your flat panel TV to be a second monitor for your laptop or your desktop computer, I don't know. Maybe you can do it with smartphones too. You're going to need to get what's called an HDMI cable. All right? HDMI cable. This one is 3 feet long, but you can get them 50 feet long. And they have a very particular kind of head on them. Take the plastic off of here, so you can see the shape of these. No other cable has that shape. So this is what you're looking for, and I will put links to, there are different manufacturers that are all fine, but I'll put a link to this particular manufacturer. And you just plug one end into your computer and the other end into your TV, and this should then work for you as a second monitor. You will have to do something called mirroring, meaning the new second monitor, the TV, needs to mirror what is happening on your laptop or your desktop. But that's just a function that takes a click. So you look in your preferences, look under displays, and it'll somewhere in there it'll say mirror both of them. You just click that and they'll mirror. You want them to not mirror each other, then you unclick it. Very simple. I'm going to get my smartphone here and take a little video of how these things connect. I think that all smart TVs now, which all flat panel TVs are smart now, will have an HDMI port in them, so you just click it right in. However, not all computers do, which means you may need to get an adapter, and this clicks into the adapter, and the adapter clicks into your computer. So it's just, it's a different head for a different port. And that's what I've got on mine, because Apple does not have HDMI on, or at least my ancient Apple does not. But they're not expensive. I mean, gee, I think this is like $10 or something, and the adapter was something like 40 or 50 bucks. So you can do all this for far less than $100, and it will make, I think, your enjoyment of the classes much higher. Right? So hold on a minute. Let me get my smartphone and I'll videotape this. Okay, so this is the kind of cable that you're going to need to hook your flat panel TV up to your laptop or your desktop. And this is a 3-foot one that I happen to have. This is an HDMI cable. You can get them at any length. You can get them up to 100 feet. So you can cable this up no matter where you're situated in your house. So I'm just going to leave this one aside. And the way this works is one end plugs into your computer and the other end plugs into the TV, and you are cabled up. Now, it's not always that easy. Most flat panel TVs nowadays have an HDMI port, so you won't have any trouble with that. But not all computers have an HDMI port, in which case you're going to need to get an adapter. And that's true for me because I've got an old Apple. So what you do is you get an Apple adapter, which has several different kinds of ports, and then on this end a Thunderbolt port that will fit into my computer. And so I'm going to connect one to the other, and now this will go into the computer just fine, and this will go into the TV. Now, in my case, I sometimes like to use the TV, and sometimes I prefer to have the TV off, right? And so I have put a switch on that I can turn this cable on or off with. And what I'm using as a switch is this object here, which is called a splitter. And it's actually used for, you could put 3 different HDMI cables here and cable them up to different things. I don't even do that. I just use this as a switch. All right. So there it is together, and by pressing, the light's not on because we don't have any electricity here for this, but I can just click it on, click it off. All right. So it's just an on-off switch here, and this also has an HDMI head on it here. So this end goes into the computer, this end goes into the TV. I've got an on-off switch here. Boom, Bob's your uncle. You probably do something a little simpler for your own. You certainly don't need this. The reason it's handy is you don't have to plug and unplug it all the time. All you have to do is just use your switch. And also get somebody who, can put that in. All right. Boom, on, off. Okay, so I'm going to take this into the video studio and put them together, and I'll show you that too. Okay, so here we are back in our video studio, And what you've got in front of us here is the back of our flat panel TV. I'm going to take one end of my HDMI cable assembly and I'm going to plug it into the HDMI port in the back of the TV. And then I'm going to take the other end of the cable assembly and I'm going to plug it into my iMac computer. Boom, Bob's your uncle. That's it, it's simple. And here I've got the switch where I can turn it on or off if I want to. Wow, it couldn't be any simpler. There you go.
So if you have a smart TV and you have an internet connection or Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, you can run it without a cable. It's a little more difficult, but you can do it.
Well, either way, guys. I know most people don't want to do this, and I understand that. It's a whole nother level of complexity, but it's actually quite easy to do. It's not expensive, and the image that you get. So, for instance, I'm looking at Jill right now, Jill and Catherine, and they're basically life size. So I can actually see them instead of them being teeny tiny little peas that I can't even see the expression on their face. So I can see you and enjoy your company much more strongly than if we had a tiny little image. Well, think of an iPad, it's about this size, it's pretty small. So just think about it. Think about doing something like this. There's an old back in the day, we set up Annie's studio, and we set up her workstation, the computers, and all that on there, and then we set up for her employees. And I said, "Well, how many screens do you want?" And she said, "What? How many screens do you want?" "Well, there's already a screen with the computer," she says. Now, this is a desktop computer, so it's a decent sized screen. I said, "No, you want auxiliary screens. You don't want just one screen, you want 2 or 3 screens." "Why do I want 2 or 3 screens?" Your productivity in office work is directly related to the size of the screens that you've got. The more screens you've got, the more productive you're going to be. And that actually goes for Tai Chi classes too. Because if you've got a bigger screen where you can really see what's happening, it's going to be much more realistic and you're going to see and feel and get enjoyment, more enjoyment out of the class. Well, I set up 3 screens for her. Nowadays, do not touch her screens. Those are her screens, right? She loves this. She's got her center screen and a left screen and a right screen. And that's a lot of acreage, but it allows her to work so much more productively than if you just had one screen with a bunch of overlapping windows and you're always searching for what's going on. She's got reference in one screen, she's got something she's working on the other screen, and she's got, in the middle screen. So it just works a lot better. I've got it set up. I don't really have room out here for 3 screens, but every computer, I've got 2 computers out here. They each have 2 screens. And in addition, we've got the big TV. So I'm looking at you guys on a 55-inch TV. I can see everything, Catherine. I see everything in your apartment there. Including
Can you read the titles of my books?
Yes, I can. Let's see.
I have to go, guys. I need my
Alright,
dinner.
hon.
It's 7 o'clock here.
See you next time. Ciao.
Ciao. Thank you.
You bet. Okay, I am going to take my Tron suit off. Jill, get better. Good luck with that.
Yeah,
Kevin?
I think I'm gonna go take a nap.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
You want to hear something weird?
Yes, I love weird things.
I had we were in class yesterday, the Tai Chi class. I started getting this on my left eye, this very weird wavy shit. And it turns out Lee had it too. It's something called ocular migraine.
Yes. I
That
know
was,
exactly what. Yes, I get them too.
I don't know what the fuck that
Yeah, I
was.
do too.
It comes, at least
No.
for most people, including me, and I'm going to guess you too. It comes from just being really tired, so your whole system is kind of tired, and so much screen work,
Yeah.
and you get these very weird. Now, did you have a migraine with it?
No, I don't have migraines. It just went my left, only one eye, and it lasted. I think 2 hours. Dr. Reese did it.
Yeah, yeah, it probably was. It probably was. I've had them probably at least a dozen times in the past
Oh,
couple of years. Fortunately, I do not get the headache with it.
yeah.
Some people get a splitting migraine with them, but fortunately,
Yeah.
I haven't had any.
I used to get the ocular migraines. And
Yeah,
so it started out as like a little
yeah, yeah, yeah,
glimmer and then it would expand out and then you couldn't see in
yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
But now
thought,
I just get the pain.
oh, great. I thought, I
Yeah.
like, what drugs did I take? Because it's starting to look like all.
I know especially the first time you have one, you don't know
Yeah.
what they are. It's pretty weird.
I thought yeah, the first time I got it, I thought I was having a retinal detachment.
Well, yeah, it's kind of scary because you know, it's really real, and you're going, oh my God, am I getting a retinal detachment? It's exactly what you think. You heard of the new one? The new one, you get all that fuzzy stuff, and then you get the blank spot inside, and then Trump's face comes forward.
That's
It's
a
called
fate worse than death.
it's called a Trump migraine. So just be
Ooh.
careful, right? Don't say anything bad, or you'll get a Trump migraine.
Mhm.
On that note.
Okay, guys, we'll see you next time. Rest up, Jill.
Take care. Thanks.